Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and cut just a ring out of this. I just have a circle piece of MDF here. I have a pivot point in the center, found the center of my circle, drilled a little hole, put a nail down in it, drilled a hole in the table, and that's what's holding. You can see the nail there. I just have a hole down in my table that's my pivot that goes over this straight cutting router bit here. You can see I've made two different circle cuts in this thing. Now I'm just measuring them out, make sure everything's good before I go any further. And when you cut these things, you don't want to cut all the way through the wood. You want to cut about halfway through, flip it over, do it again. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just cutting the excess of this wood off. Just run it the rest of the way through. And then we'll have our 10-inch ring. Now here I just have a basic MDF box, just nailed together right now with some brad nails. But the bit I'm using on the router is the 1/4-inch rabbit bit. Just cuts a little indentation in it. I'll show you here in a second. This is a really good bit to have anytime you're bonding fleece to MDF. You can actually use this same bit on the outside of the rings, but you see it just leaves a gap down in there. Just takes about half that MDF, pushes it down about 1/4 inch. Actually, that's a 1/2-inch rabbit bit. So, but here I've got my ring just supported by some spare chunks of MDF. Just make sure they're all, steady. You can brad nail them in there if you need to. Got my piece of fleece, test fitted over there, make sure it covers. Now you can tape your pneumatic or regular staple gun. As you can see, I've got over there a pair of scissors and this spray adhesive and start getting to work. So we're going to spray this front side, this side over here, and this side. We're not going to do the back just yet. Spray a little bit down the side of the box too if you need. Make sure you get in those grooves you made with the rabbit bit though. Now we'll just lay this fleece over the top and make sure that we're tacked down to the front really well. So that's going to be our base from which direction we're pulling here. It's going to have most of the stress on it, I guess. So now we'll just slowly work our way to the back, pulling this, and this is going to be a lot like the kick panel. You can notice this, it's got pretty much the same shape. So this is the right way to pull the back side. Once you watch the kick panel video, you'll see the wrong way. See, we have this chunk right here that we need to get rid of, but instead of cutting it off, we're going to pull straight down all around here, and it's really hard. Sometimes you got to pull pretty tough to get these things out, but we can see that it's possible. So I'm going to go ahead and spray the back here. Make sure we got any dust or debris out of there. Coat it up pretty good, so we're going to be pulling pretty hard on this one. And here we go. Just go ahead and pull, stretch as much as you can on that thing. Just make sure you see all these little wrinkles underneath here. We're trying to make sure they don't go up into the actual body of what we're making here. All of this will be cut off here in a moment. Just make sure you're tacked down good, everything looks good. You don't have any dents, holes, anything. Now we'll start stapling this thing down. You can put them about a ½ inch away from each other. And you're going to go around the entire thing doing this. And I'm just using this hand stapler just to show the basic tools. I actually have an electric one. Those are pretty nice. So we've gone around the entire thing, so we're going to go ahead and cut some of this fleece off just to get rid of it, get it out of our way. You don't have to go all the way up to the edge here. If you want to, you can. It actually eliminates a step out of this, but I'm just going to leave it just for demonstration. So we're going to take all our stuff off of here. Got my chip brush ready. So we're going to start laying this resin into it. Again, pretty heavy. You want to get a good solid soak through on this resin. Fleece is really hard to soak all the way through. It can actually soak up quite a bit of this stuff. Even if you think it's gone all the way through, it probably hasn't. Just keep working it in. Try to get in over these staples real good too, because that's going to help this fleece shell bond to it a little bit better. Essentially these two parts here are just coming together. You know, now you can see we've finished covering this thing up. Gonna go ahead and cut the rim of this off. It's just all that excess fleece that I told you could cut off. I'm just using an angle, or it's not an angle grinder, it's a Dremel tool, a little cutting wheel on it. I've actually got the wheel flush with the face of this box. It may look like I'm actually cutting into the box, but I'm not. It's just following the outside ledge of this, so that that ledge is flush with the box. Speed it up here so we can don't have to watch me. So now we pretty much just have a shell sitting on top of a box, and it's stapled down. But we'll go ahead and rough sand this, get rid of any of these little high spots on the fleece. You don't have to get real detailed into this. Just making sure we don't have any really high clumps or anything on here.